Okay, we have another Port Jackson fig found on the side of the road, growing wild as they do, like weeds. I managed to find three of them, one with a crazy curve in it that I don't know how it's going to turn out, and this one in particular, it's a very straight trunk. I made the first chop here when I took it, cut it there as well, and here. So this was about, I don't know, 8 foot tall, just a bush, and I had a look and went, okay, it's got a nice flaring trunk. It, forms a split, which is a start of, reducing down in size. I thought, okay, I'll make a project out of this one. What to do with it? I guess it's been in a 12-inch pot, pretty big pot, for a year. And this was a stump, and it's done this in 12 months' time. I haven't touched it. We're approaching the end of summer. I've probably got another month of growth spurt. So I've put it into a bonsai pot. I've given it a root prune, fresh soil, better than that Bunnings $2 bag mix, that garbage. But this is how it's grown, in mediocre soil. Now it's in its first bonsai soil mixture. I want to see how much better the roots will grow. As you can see, there's, I'll bring it a bit closer because I know it's hard to see. So we've got this trunk. I've got those roots just sort of holding him in the pot. So we spin around. It back butted really low, which is really good. It's a good sign when you're back butting down here near the base. So that's my perlite, zeolite, and chook manure mixture. So there's organic in there, and it's straight from the farm. So this is potentially my front I've chosen. And why I've chosen the front is because it comes up to this chop that I made, this off leaf. And I should nibble that out. Also, in here is another trunk that comes up there. Fucking leaves. I'm going to reduce the height of it. Number one, she's going to keep growing up and turning into a tree if I don't tell it not to, if you catch my drift. So I'm going to reduce height first. Let's take the height down. Any inward growing branches, gone. And let's see what we can expose and have a look at this guy. See, look at that branch. That was growing on the inside and it shot out. That isn't anything to do with my training. That's what's just happening with the tree. All right, let's just get on with it. Okay, what have we got in here? So I've got that. I chose this change of direction. Oh, cut that a bit close. But he'll be all right. And then over here, what do we got? Another one here. I'm trying to muff this one up. Oh, okay. There we go. So that's what I'm losing. Decent sized branching in 12 months. Okay. I might just tip that back. So I'm just really bringing this back in. How much the height has been dropped? Oh, fair bit when you stand back and look at it. Sorry about the camera work, but I could come in a bit closer. All right, what are we going to do with this thing? So this is a healing point here. I don't like how this branch is growing back this way. I think that should be trained back that way. Sorry, I'll get my arms out of the way. I don't realise. I saw the last video and went, fucking hell, get out of the road, you fat bastard. Let's get some branching down here. I'm just going to reduce a lot of this junk. This one, yeah, it's on the inside. I'll take him out. There we go, that's a bit neater. This one, too close to the fork. We get some, that one's off that one. Lose that. Cut that. So I'm giving it a fairly hard cut back because I don't need long branches. I need more branches and smaller leaf size. So I'm going in pretty hard. This branch here, let's go there and there. This one's coming up the top. Normally I'd lose something growing up. Okay, but I won't. I'll leave that there just to leave more greenery on him. That branch is coming in off that one. Gone. This one, what's that doing? Okay. Trim that. I've got two coming from one spot. Take the smallest and weakest. This guy here. Yeah, get rid of him. He's weak. We want to open it up a bit. I have this guy coming out right at the base of that. That's going to create a bit of a bulge. Same with this one here. Take that there. Gone. Two side by side. Now I have a choice. I think I'll take both of them. These ones down low. Let's just say goodbye. Let's get this trunk exposed. Down here. There's another little tip down low. This one down in here, tucked in behind a root. A root just there. Oh, fuck. Come on. See, this is what's... That would be another little tree. You could plant that. Sorry, I don't even know where I'm looking. But this little guy has roots, arrow roots. I'll upset my soil a little bit there. If I can get rid of that. The reason why I've got it in a bucket, you're probably wondering why it's not just sitting in a bonsai pot. Because I just flooded it when I've did the repot. And because it's chook manure, the water's coming out black, brown. It's really rich with nutrients. It smells good for plants. So I've got a pretty strong branch there. I'll dock him there. If I was to do any training, any wiring, gee, she's bleeding. I'd probably like to open this up a bit, pull these branches down and position them in an area where they can capture light, so higher branches aren't growing over the top of lower branches. So stuff like this I can just nibble out later to get that wound to heal. These are pretty much set because they're so thick. I'd take some pretty heavy wiring, but you know, one day I might choose to chop here, and then I've got a little bit of movement. Let's have a look. So that could have potentially been a front. However, I've got a pretty heavy root growing towards me underneath the rock. So I chose to put that root at the side for the flare. And this one here grows towards you. So I'm going to train this up so the tree appears to bow. But this leader is the most dominant. I think I'm going to have to make a bit of a snip on that stump. It just looks really... How's it going? Can I get it? Yeah, it's tight. I think I might have to pull out the big guns. Where is the meat axe? I'll go get the big weaponry, because that's too big for the small cutters. I just had them outside because they were being used for the root pruning. So I'm going to slip that into the same cut, same angle. Damn. Yeah, maybe I can angle it down a bit more. Get out of the way, you. And you leave. How's that looking? I can always nibble that. Spread it. Good girl. Anyway, that was quite a quick one. I could probably wire these to give them weight and probably position them in areas where they're not in line with each other. So I could pull them out like that. This one back that way a little bit, maybe. And this one will form a branch. A bit of bark came off there. So that's the first pot and trim. So from here, it's going to recover. I might actually give that a little bit of a shortening, a bit of a recover, and it's got to get itself ready for winter. It'll go in a glass house where the humidity is really, really intense. Some days I have to open the door just to cool them down because the leaves burn. In here, I just noticed in here, look at some stuff growing really close on the edge. There's another one. Another one here. And this one, I don't think I'll want him. Yeah, so I could probably give that a bit of a nibble and a tidy up. That way the scar will heal over. These cheap Chinese nibblers. When the trees root into the pot really good, you can actually push on them. They sit in nice and tight. At the moment, this thing, if I push against it, it's just going to fall over. Alright, that's looking a bit better for healing. That one there. I feel like I should chop it down into this area. Cut it into there. Something I can think about later. Normally I'll come back to it and I'll look at it and think about it and go, you know what, maybe I should lose that. Right now I'm thinking maybe I should lose that branch. It's one of those thoughts that, what do you want? What do you need? What's going to make this look all right? Once you cut it, you can't just stick it back on. So I think that's where I want to be. I think that's the start of a pretty standard looking broom style to me. The front, I hope I've selected it right. My eyes must be painted on. I swear to God I'm going blind. The little branches around the base. I'll leave that there because it'll heal over. It'll knob up and it'll probably reshoot. What I'll do is I'll get rid of that. All right. That'll turn into a bit of a bulge when it heals over. So it'll give it a bumpy look. It'll give a sign of age. Whether or not I want to do any wiring, it's one of those things. It's probably just going to be a clip and grow. Someone better take the cutters off me before I turn it into just a stick. Okay, put the cutters down. I think that's all for today. That's the start. I think that's the start of something. I'll keep an eye on this one. I try not to neglect it too much. And see how he goes. I mean, that is a potential front if I lost this branch. So you got a little bit of movement, but it hides the one in behind. Whereas this way you can actually see a bit more depth of field. And you've got a good back branch here. You've got your left and right, another big, strong, healthy back branch. Could that have been a front? Could this have been a front? I think the way it is now, I can always change my mind later. But what steered me to this front was this section here and the roots. A lot of people will say you judge it off the roots. What's got the most appeal? What looks nicest? Here she is. To be continued. I will post another video of the progression of this tree. Just so I can keep record of how it's progressing and how it's growing, and I can see what it's doing. I think I should shorten that because this is your apex and this is like something else coming up. So if I was to shorten it, I'd shorten it to this leaf here. So it'll tip out here. My first initial cut, I went here because there's this. And this cut was because of this. This branch shouldn't really be stronger than this one. It shouldn't. Looks like I'm going to do it. Okay. This is all the damage I'm doing for today. Alright. That upset the bark a little bit. Right, I'm gonna put him in the shade. Hopefully that tip grows. If not, it'll grow the one lower, which will even be better. Yeah, if you want to stay tuned. This one will spring back quite well because it's actually growing in decent soil now. Better than what it was growing in. I'm going to start fertilising and give it some food so it can settle in before the cold winter months start up. Okay, well, there you go. It looks like we got a start of a broom style Port Jackson fig in Sydney. Today's temps, I think, was 24 degrees. Quite a cooler day. At the moment, it's 22. It's going to reach a top of 24. So yesterday it was 31, and that's how quickly it drops in the south coast. It can change that quickly. So I've picked a cool day to go out and bare root him, give him a root prune, give him a haircut, and put him in his first bonsai pot. Now I've got to make room on the bonsai racking. I think I've got about 30 trees, I'm not sure, not counting. Probably too many. Enough to drive the missus up the wall anyway. Alright, well, stay tuned for the next video, guys. I'll update this one, and we'll do it all again. I'll bring you in for a closer look. Just got these rocks to weigh it down. That's the base. Lots of aerial roots. This tree was quite happy growing in the big pot, big 12-inch pot. So I've got a green glazed pot. It's quite shiny and slippery when it's wet. So these are the cuts. I think I'll have to nibble this out, like I said before, just to take that right angle edge off. It'll probably have a bit of dieback, and it'll die back down here anyway. Oh, sorry, down in here. So I'll fix that up later. I'll just let it recover for now. And there's the initial cut I took from the wild. Just nibbled it out a little bit. So this thing has never had any wire on it. It might be just one of those clip and grow trees. But there it is, the Port Jackson fig, eh? Another free tree. Just like that. All right. Stay tuned for more tree torturing. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.